Good morning, students. In last video, we discussed about the Fermi-Dirac distribution function and density of energy states. From the two functions, we calculated the intrinsic carrier concentration and its Fermi level of intrinsic semiconductor. Today, we'll calculate the carrier concentration in extrinsic semiconductors, that means N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductors, and Fermi level of N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor, and Fermi level of extrinsic semiconductors with respect to intrinsic Fermi level, along with how the Fermi level affected by temperature. Now we'll discuss about the carrier concentration in N-type semiconductor. From the electrical neutrality equation for any semiconductor, concentration of positive charge equals to concentration of negative charge. In this, negative charge is indicated by the electrons and acceptors, and positive charge indicated by the holes and donors. So here we have written the electrical neutrality equation for N-type semiconductor. Nn equals to Pn plus Nd. Here Nn indicates the free electron concentration in the N-type material. Pn indicates the hole concentration in N-type material. Nd indicates the donor concentration. Here we are considering the Na equals to 0 because in N-type semiconductor acceptor concentration is 0. So this is equation number 1. From the law of mass action, the product of free electron concentration and hole concentration is always constant. It is always equals to the Na square. From that we have written Nn into Pn equals to Na square. Nn is the concentration of electrons in N-type material. Pn is the concentration of holes in N-type material. So here suffix n indicates the type of the material. So from the law of mass action, we can calculate the minute of the charge carrier concentration when you know the majority of charge carrier concentration. So that means Pn equals to Na square by Nn. This is equation number 2. Substitute the equation 2 in equation 1. That means Nn equals to Na square by Nn plus Nd. We can write the quadratic equation Nn square minus Na square minus Nd Nn equals to 0. So the solution of the quadratic equation is nothing but roots of the quadratic equation minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So Nn equals to Nd plus or minus root of Nd square plus 4Na square by 2. Here a equals to 1, b equals to minus Nd. So Nn is the concentration of free electrons in the N-type material. It could not be a negative value. So we have written Nn equals to Nd plus root of Nd square plus 4Na square by 2. So this is the majority of the charge carrier concentration in the N-type material. So then we can write the minority of the charge carrier concentration, minority charge carrier concentration Pn equals to Na square by Nn. If donor concentration is more greater than the intrinsic carrier concentration, then we can write Nn equals to Nd and Pn equals to Na square by Nd. The conductivity of the N-type semiconductor sigma n can be represented as Nn E mu n plus Pn E mu p. Here n suffix n indicates the concentration of free electrons. E is the charge of the electron. mu n is the mobility of the electrons. Pn is the concentration of holes, E is the charge of the electron, mu p is the mobility of the hole. Here mobility of the electron is more compared to the mobility of hole. But we know Nn is more greater than the Pn because the majority of the charge carriers are electrons. So minority of charge carriers are holes. From that we can write sigma n equals to Nn E mu p by neglecting the Pn term. Here Nn is also almost equals to the donor concentration. That's why we have written sigma n equals to Nd into E mu n. Fermi level in n-type semiconductor material. We know free electron concentration n equals to Nc into e power of minus Ec minus Ef by kT. For n-type semiconductor, we are considering the free electron concentration is almost equals to the donor concentration, and the Fermi level we represented the E suffix n, it is EFn. By substituting these values in the above equation, Nd equals to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Efn by kT. By writing the Nc minus Nd, we can write e power of Ec minus Efn by kT. Taking the logarithm on both sides, we can write Ec minus Efn by kT equals to ln Nc by Nd. By writing Ec minus Efn equals to kT ln Nc by Nd. From that we can write the Fermi level of n-type semiconductor EFn equals to Ec minus kT ln Nc by Nd. Here Ec minus Efn is the distance of Fermi level from the edge of the conduction band. In n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is always closer to the conduction band. When you are observing the energy band diagram here, so the Fermi level is almost or very closer to the conduction band. So we know intrinsic Fermi level is always center of the forbidden band. When we are adding the fifth group elements to the intrinsic Fermi level, it becomes the n-type semiconductor. When we are adding the impurities to the n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level of n-type material is almost or equal to the conduction band of n-type semiconductor with respect to intrinsic Fermi level. For any semiconductor, we can write n equals to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Ef by kT. For n-type, n equals to donor concentration, we know that one, and Ef equals to Efn. We can write Nd equals to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Efn by kT. This is equation number 1. For intrinsic semiconductor, n equals to Ni and Ef equals to Efi. This is Ni equals to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Efi by kT. This is equation number 2. Dividing the equation 1 to equation 2, that means Nd by Ni equals to e power of Efn minus Efi by kT. Taking the logarithm on both sides, Efn minus Efi equals to kT ln Nd by Ni. Efn is the Fermi level of n-type material, Efi is the Fermi level of intrinsic material, that means intrinsic Fermi level, and Nd is the donor concentration, Ni is the intrinsic concentration. Here, by observing the energy band diagram, this n-type Fermi level is closer to the conduction band and above the intrinsic Fermi level. Clear? Where it is pure semiconductor, the intrinsic Fermi level is present at center of the forbidden band. When you are adding the fifth group impurities or elements to the pure semiconductor, it becomes the n-type semiconductor. When you are adding the more impurities to the n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level of n-type material is closer to the conduction band and above the intrinsic Fermi level. Of carrier concentration in p-type semiconductor. From the law of electrical neutrality equation for p-type semiconductor, we can write Pp equals to Np plus Na. Here Pp is the concentration of holes in p-type material, Np is the concentration of electrons in p-type material, and Na is the acceptor concentration. In this p-type material, The donor concentration is 0, so we are considering that ND equals to 0. So PP equals to NP plus NA is the equation number 1. From the law of mass action, we know product of concentration of electrons and holes is always constant. It is always equals to the Na square. So Np into Pp equals to Na square. From that we can write minority of the charge carriers Np equals to Na square by Pp. This is equation number 2. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Pp equals to Na square by Pp plus Na. So we can write the quadratic equation Pp square minus Na square minus Na Pp equals to 0. The solution for the quadratic equation, it is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. We know here b is the minus Na, a equals to 1. So therefore Pp equals to Na plus or minus root of Na square plus 4Na square by 2. So Pp is the concentration of holes. It could not be negative value. So we have written Pp equals to Na plus and root of Na square plus 4Na square by 2. And this is the concentration of majority charge carriers, nothing but holes. When you know the majority of charge carriers, we can calculate the minority of the charge carriers. That means Np equals to Na square by Pp. If acceptor concentration is more compared to the intrinsic carrier concentration, that means Na is greater than the Ni. By ignoring the Na square term, then Pp equals to Na. That means majority of the charge carriers is almost equals to the acceptor concentration, and Np equals to Na square by Na. The conductivity of the p-type semiconductor, sigma p equals to Np E mu n plus Pp E mu p. Np is the concentration of electrons in the p-type material. E is the charge of the electron. Mu n is the mobility of the electron. Pp is the concentration of holes. E is the charge of the electron. Mu p is the mobility of hole. But we know in p-type semiconductor, the concentration of holes is more greater than the concentration of electrons. That means here the majority of the charge carriers are holes. By neglecting the Np term, we can write sigma p equals to Pp into E mu p. And we know the concentration of holes is almost equals to the concentration of acceptors. That means sigma p equals to Na E mu p. In p-type semiconductor, we know concentration of holes P equals to Nv into e power of minus of Ef minus Ev by kT. For p-type semiconductor, P equals to Na, that means acceptor concentration, and Ef equals to EFP, it indicates the Fermi level of p-type material. Therefore, we can write Na equals to Nv into e power of minus of EFP minus Ev by kT. By writing the Nv by Na, it is equals to e power of EFP minus Ev by kT. Taking the logarithm on both sides, EFP minus Ev by kT equals to ln Nv by Na. EFP minus Ev equals to kT ln Nv by Na. Therefore, we can write EFP, Fermi level of p-type material, equals to Ev plus kT ln Nv by Na. So, in p-type semiconductor, Fermi level will be closer to the valency band, which indicates that hole concentration in valency band is greater than the electron concentration in conduction band. So, by observing the energy band diagram, this Fermi level in p-type material is very closer to the valency band. Fermi level in n-type material is very closer to the conduction band. In p-type material, very closer to the valency band. So when you are increasing the concentration, when you are increasing the impurity atoms in the p-type semiconductor, the Fermi level will moves very closer, is almost equals to the valency band of p-type semiconductor with respect to the intrinsic Fermi level. For any semiconductor, P equals to Nv into e power of minus of Ef minus Ev by kT. For p-type semiconductor, we know the whole concentration is almost equals to the acceptor concentration, and Ef equals to Efp. By substituting these values, Na equals to Nv into e power of minus of Efp minus Ev by kT. This is equation number 1. For intrinsic semiconductor, P equals to Ni, Ef equals to Efi. Therefore, we can write Ni equals to Nv into e power of minus of EFI minus Ev by kT. This is equation number 2. Dividing the equation 1 with equation 2, therefore we can write Na by Ni equals to e power of EFI minus EFP by kT. Taking the logarithm on both sides, EFI minus EFP equals to kT ln Na by Ni. When impurities are added to a pure semiconductor, Fermi level move away from the center of orbital band. So, in the energy band diagram, in the middle we represent the dotted line. It is intrinsic Fermi level. It is always present in the center of Fourier band, and Fermi level of p-type semiconductor is very closer to the valency band, and which is below the intrinsic Fermi level. Clear? Effect of temperature on Fermi level. How the Fermi level will be affected by the temperature? In intrinsic semiconductor, Fermi level is independent of temperature. That means Fermi level lies always at center of Fourier band at any temperature. So in intrinsic semiconductor, Fermi level will not affected by the temperature. When temperature is increased, Fermi level moves closer to the center forbidden gap in n-type or p-type semiconductor. So temperature will not affect the intrinsic Fermi level, but in extrinsic, when temperature increases, Fermi level moves closer to the center of forbidden gap. Explanation. Consider n-type semiconductor. Net electron concentration will be sum of concentration due to the impurities and concentration due to the thermal excitation. When we are supplying the thermal energy or due to the we are increasing the temperature, the concentration of electron and hole pair will increase. So the net concentration will be the sum of impurity concentration and concentration due to the thermal excitation. We know, we consider n-type semiconductor, the electron concentration is equals to Nd plus Nt. Here Nd is the donor concentration. Why? Because impurity concentration is almost equals to the donor concentration plus Nt n suffix T. That means the electron concentration due to the thermal excitation. At low temperature, electron concentration due to thermal excitation will be negligible. So at low temperature, the concentration of electrons due to thermal excitation, we are considering it is 0. If temperature increases, then concentration of thermally generated carriers increases. When we are increasing the temperature, the thermally generated carriers will be increases. At very high temperature, Nt, thermally generated electrons can become much greater than the donor concentration. That means the total net electron concentration will become thermally generated electrons. So N equals to Nt and P equals to Nt. Why? Because when temperature increases, the electron concentration will increases and hole concentration increases. At high temperatures, the donor concentration is small compared to the thermally generated electron concentration. So N equals to Nt and P equals to Nt. That means concentration of electrons and holes are same at high temperatures. So therefore, n-type semiconductor will behave like intrinsic semiconductor because concentration of electrons and holes are same. Therefore, Fermi level moves to center of forbidden band. Clear? So here I mentioned a problem. In p-type silicon sample, acceptor concentration corresponds to 1 impurity atom per 10 power 6 silicon atoms. Full stop. If Mp equals to 0.8 m naught, here m naught is the real mass or true mass, we know it is equals to 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Find distance of Fermi level, edge of valency band. Find distance of Fermi level from intrinsic Fermi level. Third one, find current density in this sample if electric field of 10 volts per centimeter is applied. So here I mentioned the answers. So you can solve this problem from the previous discussions. If you are not getting any answer, you can ask me. Compensated semiconductors. If both pentavalent and trivalent impurities are added to a semiconductor, then it is called compensated. So in till now we discussed about the extrinsic semiconductors and intrinsic. In the extrinsic semiconductors, either you can add either you can add third group elements or fifth group elements to the pure semiconductor. But coming to here, we are adding both pentavalent as well as trivalent impurities to a pure semiconductor. Then that semiconductor is called compensated semiconductor. So when we are adding the third group element and fifth group elements to that pure semiconductor, based on the concentration of acceptor and donors, that compensated semiconductor behave either intrinsic or n-type material or p-type material. If acceptor concentration and donor concentration are both are same, then that compensated semiconductor behaves as intrinsic semiconductor. Such semiconductor is called perfectly compensated semiconductor. So the concentration of pentavalent and trivalent impurities are same. That means acceptor and donor concentration are same. Then it is called perfectly compensated semiconductor. If acceptor concentration is more greater than the donor concentration, then that compensated semiconductor called p-type compensated semiconductor. Why? Because here acceptor concentration is more compared to the donor concentration. So it is called p-type semiconductor. The net impurity concentration becomes Na minus Nd. If donor concentration is more greater than the acceptor concentration, then compensated semiconductor will behave as n-type semiconductor with net impurity concentration of Nd minus Na. Concentration of holes and electrons in sample germanium at 300 Kelvin, which has donor concentration of 2 into 10 power 14 and acceptor concentration of 3 into 10 power 14 atoms per centimeter cube. Calculate the conductivity. So here I am adding acceptors and donors to the pure semiconductor. So based on the concentration of and acceptor and donor concentration, so it may act either it is a n type or p type. From that we can calculate the conductivity. Thank you.